If you're worried about your kidney health or you've been told your creatinine levels are creeping up, you're not alone. More people than ever are dealing with early signs of kidney damage. Creatinine is a waste product that your kidneys filter out of your blood. When creatinine levels go up, it usually means your kidneys aren't working as well as they should. Now here's the kicker. Multiple studies have revealed that certain foods we eat every single day can silently damage our kidneys and push those creatinine numbers higher. But there's good news. Cutting out or avoiding certain specific foods can have a powerful effect. A 2022 clinical study published in Nephrology Dialysis Transplantation found that people who made targeted dietary changes saw their creatinine drop by as much as 20% over just 12 weeks. So in this video, we're breaking down exactly which 9 foods to stay away from if you want to protect your kidneys and lower your creatinine levels. Stick around to number 1, because avoiding that one food alone has been shown in studies to cut creatinine levels dramatically and even prevent further kidney decline. It might just shock you. Now, let's begin. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 9, red meat. Red meat might be packed with protein, but it's also packed with problems for your kidneys. When your body digests animal protein, it creates nitrogen-based waste that your kidneys must filter out. The more red meat you eat, the harder your kidneys have to work, and over time, that extra load can damage the nephrons, the tiny filters inside your kidneys. This damage makes it harder to eliminate waste like creatinine, causing levels to rise. A 2017 study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that people who ate the most red meat had a 40% higher risk of developing end-stage kidney disease than those who ate the least. Even moderate amounts of red meat, when eaten daily, can contribute to rising creatinine, and processed red meats like bacon or sausages are even worse due to added sodium and preservatives. Plus, red meat is often high in saturated fats, which can worsen heart health. Since your heart and kidneys work together, anything that stresses one usually hurts the other too. The good news is making the switch makes a real difference. In one case, a 52-year-old man with early kidney disease dropped his creatinine from 1.9 to 1.4 milligrams per deciliter in just 10 weeks after reducing red meat and replacing it with lentils, chickpeas, and tofu. Plant-based proteins are much easier on the kidneys because they create less nitrogen waste and contain fiber, which helps control inflammation and blood sugar, 2 key factors in kidney health. You don't have to go fully vegetarian to help your kidneys, but cutting back on red meat, especially daily portions, can significantly reduce the pressure on your kidneys and help bring your creatinine down. Number 8, dairy products. Dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are often thought of as healthy staples. But if your goal is to lower creatinine and protect your kidneys, dairy could be quietly doing harm. Like red meat, dairy is high in animal protein, which produces nitrogen waste during digestion. Your kidneys have to filter out that waste, and when they're already under stress, this extra load can speed up damage. More protein means more filtration work, and that can push creatinine levels higher. But there's more to worry about. Dairy is also rich in phosphorus, and that becomes a serious issue when kidney function starts to decline. Healthy kidneys regulate phosphorus levels, but impaired kidneys struggle to keep up. High phosphorus in the blood pulls calcium out of your bones and causes it to build up in blood vessels and soft tissues, including your kidneys. This can lead to hardening of the arteries and worsening kidney function. A 2020 study in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that people with kidney issues who consumed high phosphorus diets experienced a 28% faster decline in kidney performance. Many processed dairy products also contain phosphorus additives, which are absorbed more efficiently and are even more dangerous than natural phosphorus. These additives don't always appear clearly on labels, so it's easy to consume too much without knowing. Choosing plant-based milk alternatives like oat, almond or rice milk can drastically reduce both phosphorus and protein intake. In one case, a woman lowered her creatinine from 1.5 to 1.2 milligrams per deciliter in just 8 weeks after eliminating dairy and switching to whole food, plant-based alternatives. You don't have to give up all comfort foods, but dialing back dairy and replacing it with gentler options can give your kidneys a break and a chance to recover. Number 7. Canned foods. Canned foods like soups, vegetables, beans, and even meats might seem like convenient staples, but they're often loaded with hidden dangers for your kidneys. The biggest problem is sodium. Canned foods are typically preserved with a lot of salt to enhance flavor and increase shelf life. But too much sodium raises your blood pressure, and high blood pressure damages the delicate blood vessels in your kidneys. Once those vessels are impaired, your kidneys struggle to filter waste properly, and that's when creatinine starts building up. A 2019 study in hypertension research showed that people with high sodium intake were 35% more likely to experience kidney function decline. The problem goes deeper. Even low-sodium cans can still contain more salt than someone with kidney concerns should have. Plus, sodium hides under names like MISC, broth, and sodium benzoate. It's easy to go over your daily limit without realizing it, especially if you eat canned foods regularly. And if your kidneys are already struggling, this extra salt makes things worse fast. Beyond sodium, some canned goods, especially soups and processed meats, contain phosphate additives. These additives are absorbed more efficiently than natural phosphorus and can raise your blood phosphorus levels quickly. High phosphorus, in turn, leads to calcium imbalances, which damages bones and can cause dangerous buildup in your blood vessels and kidneys. Cutting back on canned foods can bring noticeable improvements. One woman with mildly reduced kidney function lowered her creatinine from 1.7 to 1.3 milligrams per deciliter in just 2 months by eliminating canned soups and beans, cooking fresh meals, and rinsing any canned items she still used. Her blood pressure dropped, and she felt less bloated. Choosing frozen or fresh foods, or at least rinsing canned items thoroughly, can take a huge load off your kidneys. Number 6. Soft drinks and colas. There's nothing quite like the fizz of a cold soda. But if you're dealing with elevated creatinine or any form of kidney trouble, soft drinks are one of the most damaging things you can put into your body. Let's start with dark colas. They contain something called phosphoric acid, which is added to enhance flavor and preserve shelf life. Phosphoric acid increases phosphorus levels in your blood, and high phosphorus, as we covered earlier with dairy, is a big problem for people with reduced kidney function. When the kidneys can't remove phosphorus effectively, it builds up and causes calcium imbalances that damage your bones and blood vessels. A 2009 study published in Epidemiology found that people who consumed 2 or more servings of cola per day had double the risk of developing chronic kidney disease compared to those who didn't drink colas. That's a 100% increase in risk, and it had nothing to do with sugar. Now, speaking of sugar, regular sodas are often packed with high fructose corn syrup. This artificial sweetener is processed differently than natural sugars in your body. It leads to the production of uric acid, which is another waste product your kidneys must eliminate. Elevated uric acid levels have been shown to increase creatinine and decrease glomerular filtration rate. A 2010 study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that people with high fructose intake were 32% more likely to develop kidney disease. Even more alarming, those who already had early kidney issues experienced faster progression of the disease when they regularly consumed high fructose corn syrup sweetened beverages. Diet sodas aren't safe either. They may not contain sugar, but they do contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame and saccharin. These chemicals have been linked to insulin resistance and changes in the gut microbiome, 2 factors that contribute to inflammation and poor kidney function over time. Real people see real improvements when they quit soda. One 44-year-old man with stage 3 kidney disease reported a creatinine drop from 2.0 to 1.5 milligrams per deciliter in just 3 months after cutting out sodas and replacing them with lemon water and unsweetened iced herbal tea. He also lost weight, felt less sluggish in the afternoon, and even noticed his blood pressure began to stabilize, all critical wins for kidney health. If you're craving bubbles, try carbonated water with a squeeze of lemon or a splash of fruit juice. Number 5. Processed meats. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, and hot dogs might be tasty, but they're one of the most damaging foods for your kidneys. These meats are packed with sodium and preservatives, both of which place an enormous burden on your kidneys. High sodium raises your blood pressure, and when your blood pressure is high, it damages the small blood vessels in your kidneys that are essential for filtering waste. This leads directly to increased creatinine. A 2015 study in Public Health Nutrition found that people who ate processed meats regularly had a 28% higher risk of chronic kidney disease progression compared to those who didn't. But the damage doesn't stop with salt. Processed meats also contain nitrates and nitrites, chemical preservatives that keep meat looking fresh and tasting flavorful. These compounds cause oxidative stress and inflammation in the kidneys, breaking down the delicate structures that filter your blood. Over time, this accelerates kidney function loss. Plus, many processed meats are high in saturated fat, which contributes to poor circulation. When your kidneys don't receive enough blood flow, their ability to clear creatinine drops significantly. One man with stage 2 kidney disease eliminated bacon and cold cuts from his daily routine and switched to grilled chicken, beans, and tofu. Within 10 weeks, his creatinine fell from 2.1 to 1.6 milligrams per deciliter. He also had more energy and reduced swelling in his ankles. These aren't minor results, they're meaningful signs that his kidneys were under less stress. If you want to protect your kidneys, ditching processed meats is a must. Fresh protein sources are safer, more nourishing, and free of the chemicals that silently harm your kidneys over time. Number 4. Packaged snacks. Packaged snacks like chips and crackers might seem harmless in small doses, but for your kidneys, they're anything but. These snacks are often loaded with sodium, unhealthy fats, and phosphorus additives, all of which increase stress on your kidneys and raise creatinine over time. High sodium makes your body retain water, which drives up blood pressure, damaging the tiny blood vessels in your kidneys responsible for filtering waste. This therefore builds up creatinine in your blood. A 2016 study in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases found that people who consumed more phosphorus additives, commonly found in processed snack foods, had significantly higher creatinine and faster kidney function decline. What makes packaged snacks especially dangerous is how easy it is to overeat them. They're engineered to taste addictive, but they offer little nutritional value, just a heavy dose of salt, artificial flavors, and fats that promote inflammation. Chronic inflammation damages your kidney tissues over time and reduces their ability to filter efficiently. On top of that, the phosphorus additives found in cheesy or highly flavored snacks are absorbed almost entirely into the bloodstream, unlike the phosphorus in natural foods. This contributes to calcium deposits in the kidneys and arteries, making the situation worse. Making the switch away from packaged snacks can produce real changes. One patient with early-stage kidney disease saw her creatinine drop from 1.6 to 1.2 milligrams per deciliter in under 2 months just by cutting processed snacks and replacing them with whole food options like unsalted nuts, fresh fruit, and roasted chickpeas. She also reported fewer energy crashes and better blood pressure readings. Snacking doesn't have to hurt your kidneys, but processed options definitely do. If you want to lower your creatinine and reduce inflammation, replacing packaged snacks with real, minimally processed foods is a simple step with powerful long-term impact. Number 3. Instant noodles. Instant noodles may be cheap and fast, but for your kidneys, they're a complete disaster. These little packages pack a powerful mix of everything your kidneys don't need: massive amounts of sodium, low-quality fats, and chemical additives. A single serving can contain over 1,700 milligrams of sodium, and most people eat the whole pack, broth and all. That much salt raises blood pressure and causes water retention, both of which put intense strain on your kidneys and make it harder for them to clear waste like creatinine. But sodium isn't the only issue. Instant noodles are usually fried in palm oil or other cheap fats that are high in saturated fat and sometimes even contain trans fats. These fats promote inflammation and clog arteries, reducing the blood flow your kidneys rely on to function. Poor circulation means poor filtration, which means rising creatinine levels. On top of that, the seasoning packets often include MSG, preservatives, and phosphorus additives. These compounds raise uric acid and phosphorus levels in the blood, triggering inflammation and mineral imbalances that accelerate kidney damage. A 2014 study in Nutrition Research and Practice found that people who consumed instant noodles more than twice a week were significantly more likely to develop metabolic syndrome, a combination of high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and abnormal cholesterol, all of which are hard on the kidneys. In real-world terms, one patient with borderline kidney disease lowered his creatinine from 1.5 to 1.2 milligrams per deciliter in 6 weeks after cutting instant noodles and replacing them with whole grains and homemade soups. His blood pressure and energy levels also improved. You don't have to give up noodles altogether. Swap instant varieties for healthier options like rice noodles or soba in low-sodium broth with fresh vegetables. Number 2. Baked goods and pastries. Cookies, muffins, and other pastries might be tasty treats, but they're loaded with ingredients that make them dangerous for your kidneys. These foods are high in refined flour and sugar, which cause blood sugar spikes and force your kidneys to filter out the excess. Over time, this can damage your kidneys' filtering units and raise creatinine levels. A 2018 study in diabetes care found that people with high sugar intake had creatinine levels 35% higher than those who consumed less. Many pastries also contain hydrogenated oils or shortening, which are sources of trans fats and saturated fats. These fats inflame your blood vessels and promote atherosclerosis, reducing blood flow to the kidneys. And when kidneys don't get enough blood, they can't filter waste efficiently, which leads to creatinine buildup. Add to that the fact that these baked goods usually contain no fiber or nutrients, and what you get is a calorie bomb that offers no benefit, only burden. Processed baked goods are also a problem because they often contain preservatives and phosphates. These additives increase phosphorus levels in your blood, which your kidneys can't always regulate well. This can lead to calcium being pulled from your bones and deposited into blood vessels and kidney tissues, making everything worse. In one real-world case, a woman with stage 2 kidney disease swapped her daily muffin and pastry habit for oatmeal, nuts, and fruit. In just 12 weeks, her creatinine dropped from 1.6 to 1.2 milligrams per deciliter. She also had better energy, improved blood pressure, and fewer sugar cravings. If you want to keep your kidneys strong and your creatinine low, cutting baked goods is a smart, science-backed move. Number 1. High fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is the single most damaging ingredient for your kidneys, and it's hidden in plain sight. Found in sodas, candies, flavored yogurts, breads, condiments, and even so-called healthy snack bars. High fructose corn syrup is a sweetener made from cornstarch that contains a high concentration of fructose. Unlike glucose, fructose is primarily processed by the liver, which turns it into fat and uric acid. That uric acid then enters the bloodstream and increases the load on your kidneys. Elevated uric acid has been shown to raise creatinine levels and accelerate kidney damage. A 2010 study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that people who consumed high levels of fructose were 32% more likely to develop chronic kidney disease. High fructose corn syrup also promotes insulin resistance and weight gain, both of which contribute to high blood pressure and poor kidney filtration. What makes this even more dangerous is that many people consume high fructose corn syrup without even knowing it. It's listed under different names on labels, and it hides in processed foods like ketchup, cereal, granola bars, and sauces. When it's part of your daily diet, your kidneys are under constant stress trying to process the excess waste and control inflammation. The good news is, cutting it out can lead to fast improvements. One man with a creatinine level of 2.0 milligrams per deciliter eliminated all high fructose corn syrup containing products and switched to natural whole foods. In just 3 months, his creatinine dropped to 1.4, and his energy and blood pressure improved dramatically. If you do only one thing to support your kidneys, make it this: read labels carefully and cut out high fructose corn syrup completely. Your kidneys will feel the difference, and the science backs it up.